could be coming up with special or additional interventions at the FX market. What can you tell us?
Hello, good day, Esther. Surprisingly, yesterday, at the parallel market, it hit 370 naira, and that created a lot of panic in the market. And then the CBN stepped in to use the FX and the reserve to defend the naira. Yesterday, a circular was issued by the CBN intervening, saying that it's going to inject additional 15,000 to BDCs. Currently, they are issued $20,000 weekly on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So going forward, effective December 6th, there will be additional $15,000 that will be given to BDCs, making it a total of $75,000 to each BDC. So currently, we have about 2,991 BDCs in the country, and then if each BDC is able to apply for these additional funds, we'll be seeing close to about $44 million being injected in the system, and to a large extent, that will actually stabilize the market, and then the pressure that we are seeing on the naira may reduce.
Nkechi, what we're also hearing is that, I mean, it's just speculation at this point, that the traders at the parallel market could actually be hoarding the dollars. Yes, we know that there's increased pressure and that demand has outpaced supply, but we're also hearing that there may be some hoarding. Do you think that if, with the CBN providing more dollars, if that is the case, that will have any effect?
To say that they are holding dollars, I'm not of that view, because they render returns to the CBN, and if they do not actually sell what's been allocated to them, there will be punitive measures. So the essence of injecting additional funds is to make sure that at any point in time when demand is there is demand for FX, it's readily available, so that will be the BDCs will be able to meet the demand.
Do you think that there will be significant pressure now on the external reserves, somewhere around the $41 billion right now? The CBN is going to be providing more. Should we expect the decrease to accelerate?
No, I don't think there will be significant pressure on the reserve, because if you notice that the reserve has inched up in the past 3 days, and currently, as at November 28th, is actually at 41.99. Considering what we saw on Monday, I think it was about 41.12. So we believe that even with the injection, to a large extent, it's actually, the purpose is to defend the naira, and there won't be so much pressure on the reserve.
Speaking about...
Moreover, as you are aware, Eurobond was currently raised, and if that amount is actually added to the current reserve, I don't think there will be so much pressure on the foreign reserve.
Okay, still talking about defending the naira, we understand also that there was an unexpected OMO auction today. What can you tell us?
Yes, we saw a surprise OMO auction today in the market, and then rates inched up across all board. For the short, medium, and long-term maturities, we saw at the short end rates inching up to 11.75. Medium tenor bills is currently at 13.75, and at the long end is currently at 15%. So we believe that it's going to increase participation by investors, because the rates are more attractive currently.
But also the CBN is going to step up on its OMO auctions, because that's something we're also hearing, that there might be a special OMO, perhaps an additional OMO auctions going forward.
Yes, there was a circular issued today that there won't be any NTB auction in December. The two NTB auctions in December have been cancelled. So there is a likelihood there may be more OMO auctions to make sure that excess liquidity is mopped up, to ensure that the naira, there won't be so much pressure on the naira.
If this trend continues, what can you tell us in terms of your forecast for the yield curve in December, perhaps on average?
On average, the yield curve may get as high as 15.5, because that's what market is expecting at the long end.
Okay.
And then on the short end, it has inched up a little. So the apathy we've been seeing on the short end may change. There may be a paradigm shift. and investors may start participating in the shorter end of the bills.
All right, Nkechi, thank you so much for sharing that with us today. We appreciate your time.